Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
What is the Bharatiya Janata Party doing when it's not fighting elections? It is fighting elections. That's precisely what the Jan Ashirwad Yatra of Modi cabinet's new ministers show. With no elections immediately on the anvil and the threat of the pandemic still looming large, there is very little that can explain why these yatras are taking place and why these crowded rallies are taking place. It clearly shows that Amit Shah and Narendra Modi have not learnt their lesson from the second wave of the pandemic and the crowded Kumbh Mela, the packed election rallies that preceded it. What happened in the second wave is something we all know. It's going to be etched in our memories forever, but that should have taught a lesson to the government to not recklessly invite the virus's wrath. But that's exactly what the Jan Ashirwad Yatras are doing, and it's odd considering that these are new ministers and they should be focusing on governance and administration, especially at a time when the country is still reeling of the impact of the pandemic on the economy. And instead of focusing on governance and administration, ministers are busy holding these grand political shows, these grand shows of strength, and putting forth a political spectacle for everybody to see. Now, if you sort of look at the pattern, the BJP has been a bit of a repeat offender on this front. Now, of course, you cannot absolve any political party from the crowded rallies that happened in the assembly elections earlier this year, which contributed to the spread of the pandemic and which led to the second wave. But there is something to be said about the government, the ruling party, the party in power, leading the way, holding crowded rallies, sending a wrong message out to people and saying that, look, everything seems okay because we are holding crowded rallies. We are doing the Kumbh Mela, which is absolutely packed. It's something to be said about the government that allows all this to happen when the virus is still very much around. The messaging of this was something else. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a very, very powerful messenger. His messages reach the voters, and which is what has actually made him so popular, has held him in good stead electorally, and he's aware of his power of messaging, which is why through his addresses to the nation, through his Mann Ki Baat speech, he would constantly talk about do gaz ki doori, the importance of masking, the importance of keeping the virus at bay, and yet he would send a completely contradictory message by addressing, as his Twitter handle would boast of, massive rallies in the run-up to the assembly elections. And that sort of, gives a semblance of normality to people. It's not just about the crowds who attend these rallies. It's also about the messaging that goes out to people across the country, that if the government is allowing election rallies to go through, look, the Prime Minister is in the middle of so many people, the Kumbh Mela is happening, so obviously everything is normal and there's nothing to worry about. So in that sense, the BJP created a very dangerous precedent at that point, and then we all know what happened when the second wave struck us. Now, the Jan Ashirwad Yatras, really, there is very little that can explain them. Why are they doing these yatras? My colleague Neelam Pandey finds that it's because the BJP wants to, project inclusive development. It wants to do public outreach. It wants to enthuse cadres. But is there no other way to really do it, especially when the virus is around? I mean, is the only way to do it is to have ministers do massive rallies, show carelessness, moving around, moving between crowds. My colleague Shankar Animesh had trailed Environment Minister Bhupender Yadav in some of his yatras, and he tells me that there were significant crowds and nobody in the hinterland is bothering with masks. So everybody was unmasked, there was no physical distancing, and the ministers obviously are encouraging it through their rallies and by allowing it to happen. As I said, these are either new ministers in the cabinet or they're ministers with new portfolios. So they ideally should be focusing on understanding the ropes of their ministries, on understanding what their ministries entail, instead of creating these political spectacles. And why anyway should ministers, at a time when administration is priority, when governance is priority, why anyway should ministers focus on political outreach? There is always a good reason to gather crowds, but never a good enough reason to do it when there is the pandemic striking us, which thrives on a virus which loves crowds. So for elections, the argument was that, well, our democracy hinges on elections. How can you not have elections? But then can't elections be done in a more muted fashion? Of course they can. For the Kumbh Mela, the argument was, well, that is to respect the sentiments, the religious sentiments of Hindus. And unfortunately, the coronavirus knows and respects no religious sentiments. And for the Jan Ashirwad Yatra, now the argument is that ministers need to reach out to people. There is public outreach that is needed. But really, how wise is it for ministers to be doing it when the whole country has not been vaccinated, when a vaccination pace, even though it may have picked up, but it still remains patchy? And when the third wave could pose a grave danger to the country. In fact, this looks like an arrogantly reckless invitation to the third wave. And by allowing this to happen, the Modi government is repeating the mistake it made earlier this year, preceding the second wave. There's one thing that these yatras tell us. I don't know whether they tell you about public outreach or whether they tell you about what the government's agenda is, but there's one thing they very clearly tell us, that the only thing the BJP under Narendra Modi and Amit Shah cares about is politics, is elections, above everything else, above the health of its citizens, above the health of the voters whose votes they go and seek, and above governance as well. So this is unfortunate for a government that stands for Sushasana, that stands for good governance, and yet governance and the health of its citizens, it's not the priority. Politics and elections are. For more, you can log on to our website, theprint.in, to read my column, Politics.